Well, we may not have the Philippines, but we have a very talented Thai team who stake their claim to this trophy with a first-round match against South Africa.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. This is pool against snooker. It is Asia against Africa. It is Thailand against South Africa. And we were just talking about Judd Trump at the US Open and what an impact he made in terms of interest. Well, of course, his first defeat was against Judd Trump, but he was eliminated in that double elimination tournament by a player involved here this morning, Jason Theron, who beat Trump 11-10.
First rack, Thailand to break.
So the Thais won the lag. Off they go. I think they will struggle with the break-off. It's all a matter of knowledge, and already they're smiling at their own inabilities, Joe Perry.
Morning, Phil. Morning, everybody. Yeah, I think that's the real big difference with pool and snooker is the specialised pool shots. You know, the break-off, the jumping of the ball, the getting out of snookers. That's where they're really going to struggle, and as straight away you can see, not enough power in that break-off.
Look at that cue shaking.
Yeah, that's incredibly right.
Wow. I watched him play a few racks at the UK Open on the outside tables, and that wasn't evident. It's just purely and simply this alien environment he finds himself in front of the TV cameras, in front of a worldwide audience.
Well, Jason needs to get in good on this 9, and he hasn't. He's way short. He's going to be thinner than what that TV camera tells you. So I don't fancy him for this one. I just don't. Not with that shake. But if he does pot it, it's going to settle him down. Yep. You could see the back arm shake. He just never fancied it. And it was important for Jason to get better on the 9. Tepchaya's not messing around.
Well, he's known in snooker for sometimes missing a very expensive final ball. On more than one occasion, he's made a 140 and missed the final black for a 147. At the third time of asking, the 9 ball enters the pocket, and it's the experienced Jason Theron who tidies things up.
The fact that they don't know the physics of the cue ball. And it's another mistake. I'm getting a lot of pleasure out of this, Joe, I won't lie.
I told you he'd turn.
Didn't take long.
Well, you would think the one advantage snooker players have got is potting, but Tepchaya's not really taking advantage of that at the moment. He's looking very uneasy out there.
Oh, that's a nice shot, really is. Couldn't hit that much better, could he? Had to fire it in with pace, and he's going to settle down Team South Africa. And the fact that obviously they've seen Thailand miss a few balls, because even as pool players, you just expect snooker players to put everything on a pool table, but it is the physics and things like that that are going to cause problems. So it's 2-0.
Yeah, the 6 ball from Kyle Akalu, the pot and position attached, for me, was the best shot of the match so far.
He's down pretty quick. If the 8 passes the 9, of course, well, he's not too bad there, is he? Yeah, that's a much better shot. It's all about speed.
His coach, Cuban Moodley, will be watching this. All of the fellows at the Ricochet Sports Bar in Chatsworth, they'll be keenly keeping an eye on their man, Kyle Akalu, national champion in pool in South Africa. He knocked in a terrific 6 ball in rack 2, and he knocks in the decisive 9 ball in the 3rd rack.
Can Tepchaya finally pot a ball? Well, you called this, didn't you, during the ad break there? You said Tepchaya's pulled the snooker cue out, and you can see it there from the overhead. He's put the pull cue down, and he's got the snooker cue out.
Yeah, absolutely. He played a few shots early on, didn't he? And he just didn't get that cue ball where he wanted it. Obviously wasn't getting the reaction he's used to. So, okay, snooker cues are not ideal on a 9-ball table, but at least he's really at home with the feel and how it strikes the cue ball. So maybe see a bit better from the Thai boys now.
Yeah, potting-wise, I think you're going to see definitely an improvement from Tepchaya and Nu. When Judd Trump, of course, played in the US Open, Carl, he used one of your cues, didn't he? Oh, dear me, Tepchaya, you've let me down badly.
I think we need to get a 3-cushion carom cue out there, see if that's any good for Tepchaya.
Well, that is just unforgivable, isn't it? That's unforgivable on a snooker table. It's unforgivable on any table. That was just careless, lack of concentration, I think, more than anything else.
Now, tell the truth, Carl. You are loving this, aren't you?
I am, but I've got to stay a little bit calm because I know what this game can do. I'm begging for 7-0 South Africa, and then me and Joe will be sat in that studio and we're going to have a good chat.
It won't be that good.
Cue ball on the rail is never ideal, but you always expect the players to pot these balls.
Shot partner.
And he does.
South Africa
4-0.
wins the rack.
Make the most of this chance. I think Noppon's definitely looking the stronger of the two players in the Thailand team. That is a definite.
Normally in this position, you'd be saying, well, get the rack on the board and get the break. But of course, for snooker players, that's not a great advantage. But at least they're off the mark, the ties. Finally, the balls go in and the smiles return. Noppon Sangkam and Tepchaya and Nu trail the South Africans now 4-1.
Yeah, you can just see Noppon seems a little bit more in tune with certain shots, and he's done well to get the cue ball there. And it looks like it's going to be another rack. So South Africa, we've said this, you can't be throwing racks away.
Thailand wins the rack.
The word whitewash was being bandied around at 4-0 to the South Africans. Now, though, at 4-2, it is much more of a contest.
You have to feel like South Africa should be 6-0 up, and this rack would have been for the match. Needs to hit a rail, though. This isn't like snooker. After contact, you must catch rail.
Ball in hand.
Tepchaya didn't know, he was looking to see if he'd got the hook,
Start the
but
clock,
it was
please.
a foul.
Yeah, I wonder if he knew that, because in our sort of game, the shootout game we play, you only have to hit a cushion at any stage, not just after you've made contact with the ball. So I'm not sure if he knew that rule, but costly.
And it's cost him a quick fire out.
Because you need to be on a snooker table.
Yeah, they're going to be delighted with the outcome of that. Kept him alive in this rack.
ก็แปลกมีรวมทุกอยู่มันไม่ต้องปล่อยผมกะวางให้พี่ขนอนออกไงได้กำมันได้How long? After extension.
Extension code.
After go to cushion. Top name. Or you want to go this way?
Yeah, you've just got to try and find whichever way you feel like you're going to hit this more times than the other, because obviously if you miss, you've lost the rack. So just make sure you contact the ball. Even going one rail off the top rail is not the end of the world. You would feel that's going to be a little bit easier to judge than going off two. It's the bottom side of the 7th in, maybe pot the 9. Needs a cue ball to keep rolling to get away with this one.
Career high 15th in the world rankings for Thepchaiya Unu. The last couple of seasons haven't been the best for him. In fact, Sankom is the higher ranked of the two on the World Snooker Tour money list. But they're both prone to errors here. That was another wholesale misjudgment, Joe.
Yeah, they're making mistakes in the part of the game you would expect them to be good at, which is the worrying point from their point of view. You know, you expect the potting and the positional play to be the easy bit for them, but they're really making hard work of it.
Well, that was what we call in snooker a treble. It was a fluked bank. They intended to knock in the 9 to the opposite centre pocket, and it went across the table. But all donations gratefully accepted at the moment for Thailand.
Thepchaiya doesn't refuse many on the snooker table, so I wonder if he'll refuse this one. No, he didn't.
Where's the cue ball and where's the 6? He scratched. Did the 6 go in the pocket? It was going towards that corner.
No, it's hanging, so almost certainly the South Africans are going to extend their lead and move on to the hill. Almost certainly. I do put the word almost in there as a disclaimer, though.
Well, I'm amazed what I've just seen there. I don't know why he's playing for the side pocket there. I really don't. Just play off that right-hand side rail anywhere there, and you can't miss it in that corner. It's a massive pocket.
Yeah, whenever I've watched 9-ball on TV, the very best players, they always seem to try and avoid the middles if possible.
Yeah, I mean, on this TV table, the ball's going to slide in a good few inches up the rail, so just always play easy.
For the second time, he was going to miss the 9-ball there, but he just about scrambles in.
This match should be over and done.
Well, if it is, let me just thank Joe for joining us in the commentary box. It's great to have him here, the former world semi-finalist, Masters runner-up, and the reigning Welsh Open champion. Congratulations on that, Joe. Brilliant performance that was.
Yeah, cheers, Phil. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. Shame the snooker players couldn't have done us a bit more proud, but there you go.
Yeah, maybe when next time we see Joe, he might be out there himself.
And I can tell you, folks, the look on Carl Boyes' face, he's beyond smug.
No, I mean, jokes aside, of course, we always knew Thailand were going to struggle with certain aspects of the game of 9-ball. And it's this 9-ball for South Africa to face Great Britain B.
Yes, Kyle Akalu and Jason Theron have come out of Africa and they're into the last 16. The snooker players from Thailand did not do themselves justice. Inexperienced, and they made an awful lot of unexpected errors. In the end, the final scoreline 7-3 in favour of the Springboks.
Singapore, regulars in this tournament. And what an opener. They face one of the emerging nations in 9-ball, Qatar.
Michael, thank you. Yeah, I think this one's going to be really intriguing. Of the 4 players involved, the most high-profile individually, certainly in the last 18 months or so, has been Aloysius Yap, who came so close to winning the US Open title in Atlantic City last year. But the Qataris are well capable, I'm not going to say of a shock, Jeremy. I think it would be a mild surprise maybe, because the second Singaporean, To Lian Han, is 50 years of age, and he's had limited success on the international scene. He's not up to the level of Yap, certainly.
Yeah, without a doubt, Phil. And I think you're right on point. I've had some players say that they think they like Qatar in this match, but I tell you, I know Han a bit, and he's going to be very comfortable with Yap, and Yap kind of grew up with this guy being as one of his mentors, so I actually expect them, as long as they get used to the table, that being Han, I think the table sets up perfect for Yap myself, his technique, his fundamental, but I expect both these teams to play pretty quality.
Yeah, To Lian Han, he actually beat Alex Pagulayan at the US Open last year, got to the last 32 of the World Championship. To when you play as an individual, and I think when you embrace that and you know it's the case, then you can cope with it.
Yeah, and what I talked about in day one, the teams that really get into that one-shot process. Hey, I'm shooting one shot, going 2 rails here. My opponent plays, does the same thing. Just simple one task at a time. Those are the teams that I think are going to do the best. Okay, didn't want to open the 6-3, obviously. Has given up a shot, a long one, but one you fancy while lead to Barry.
He's got that beautiful languid cue action. Really stylish player, isn't he, Jeremy?
Yeah, and he's actually calmed it down a hair in the last couple of years. I mean, and really our first offensive look for Singapore.
Jeremy, Yap, what a player he is. He crunches that kind of ball in on such a regular basis.
Creates a lot of power, a lot of easy power from that thin angle on the 5. He really got a lot out of the cue ball.
Sorry. Stop attention.
Oh, this is as ugly as it gets. Not quite enough angle to move the cue ball easily from underneath the 8. So makes this ball missable. That's exactly what happens when you have to put some heat on it going into those side pockets, Phil.
He's that kind of player. He doesn't hold back. He plays the shot that he regards as the right shot. But you are totally correct, Jeremy. You have to be so precise at that pace. And the sum and substance of this, the rack has been gifted to Singapore. That was a little snatchy, but the 9-ball found its target. And so, through 3 racks, Qatar have missed 3 balls, and that's something you cannot afford to do. Consequently, Singapore hit the front.
You look at Han, if you know him, and Yap, and they're 2 types of guys that would really be what you would think really good partners with most players. Very easy to get along with, know the shots, very calm players. So A little light there, so Han's going to have to come with a shot on the 4. Just straight up and down with the cue ball, if he decides to shoot at it. It is pretty thin, Phil.
Extension called.
That's a confidence builder.
Yeah, like you opened this match. I mean, Han, was that shot really on rail first? Oh my, not something you see from Yap very often, but was that shot very much really on for Qatar a moment ago?
I didn't see this coming, Jeremy.
Well, the same kind of shot. I mean, or the same kind of miss at least. It's been overcuts every time for Walid, and maybe just a little bit too much speed.
We saw Klasovic miss a very similar ball to that yesterday for Serbia, and beforehand, Jeremy, who was commentating on that match, called it. It was the same kind of principle.
Yeah, you get a little bit, like I said, too much speed. The ball gets in the air just a little bit when you elevate. Easy to overcut, not only on the slick table as well. I mean, it's just interesting here. They have a short kick that they can maybe manage a safety with. They're thinking about trying to bury this 4 cross corner, and I think this is the right shot, actually, going for the kick, going for the make.
Oh, you want to kick, try to kick full ball?
I think this is correct. Just a nice rolling shot. Well, they should get back to the table. They probably won't like the scenario, but interesting. He's looking at kicking underneath the 6 here. He's going to have to bend the ball a little bit with a draw stroke if he does that. I like the side rail myself. And this one here, I probably don't kick with as much speed as most would. I don't want to lose accuracy is why. But, oh, he's made the 8.
The 4-8 combination in unconventional fashion. And it's shots like this that turn matches.
Yeah, you would think it is these types of shots, Phil, that this can get away from you. Just cutting the 7, though. He's almost got to throw it with a lot of left English.
So I just played this year and I just throw.
Yeah, that's the right shot. And now the 9 impeding the kick, I think. Phil, things are tough here for Qatar.
Yeah, the 9 ball definitely in the way, complicating the issue, which is complicated enough anyway.
I'm surprised Walid's not sending his partner 3 rails at this from behind. Yeah, that was always going to be difficult, and you never could put a ton of speed on it and have the English really take.
There you see, for someone unfamiliar with the rules, the 9 ball does come back on the table, of course. It is a foul shot, and with ball in hand and only 3 balls left on the table, Singapore heading towards a 5-2 lead. cue ball a little too close to the side cushion, so this isn't an absolute certainty.
Oh, just don't let up on it. That's the key here. And that's exactly what happened. You have to go ahead and release the stroke. I know it's a hard thing to do when the nerves are high, but you can almost remind yourself, and it helps.
It's like when you try and steer a tee shot in golf, they always go where you don't want them to go. That was a prod.
But this week, the only way is pull. Singapore are through. Wasn't pretty, but this is the early stages, and the most important thing is Singapore are through. And completing the session this afternoon, we've got Kuwait. And they're up against Vietnam.
There he is, he's found his chalk. That's always a good start, JJ, when you find your chalk.
Yeah. Should always bring a spare. And we all know Kuwait has come along in the game of 9-ball pool, and of course Omar, a runner-up to Albin Ocean, just less than 2 years ago in the World 9-ball Championships, and of course a guy that you could say could be his partner in this match.
Vietnam to break.
Al Yusuf, right? He's been making some noise on the 9-ball scene, but Kuwait does have some players.
That looks like it's going to work. Wing ball went straight in. And they're going to have a shot on this one off, and it goes over to the corner where you break from.
And I think that's a very similar break that Filler's been using most of the year. Slight cut, gets the one to come around in front of the corner, and you can do a lot of damage. Right, and I think maybe getting slowed down at times, maybe let the nerves set in, and at times Al Shaheen can very much be a rhythm player, so we'll see how he handles that.
Yeah, Omar is no stranger to the World Cup of Pool. He's been here a bunch of times before. 2011, 2012, and 2013. First round exits, all of them. But this year, he's hoping to go a little further.
He's lost a cue ball there. I don't even know if he can chop this ball in. If he can, it's very thin.
Well, you can certainly cut it in, but like you said, Carl, I wouldn't label him a huge favorite to make it. It looks like he's going for the cross-side bank. He's trying to play I don't think he would play it offensively to the corner. I think it was more of the safety there. It just got away from him.
Yeah, he wanted that 9-ball more around centre of the top rail. But these can be tricky. You're going to lose the cue ball, so you've got to watch the scratch.
Vietnam wins the first rack.
He's done a good job there, so both teams having chances in the opening rack and not converting, but it's gone the way of Vietnam. Seems to have just gone off the boil a little bit, doesn't he? Obviously, usually you expect to see a lot, but missing that ball there that he did, he's a surprise. This is a little test. It's going to go into a big pocket though.
Yeah, and I was looking, he was way elevated on that shot for really a ball that you're just kind of rolling down the table. Didn't like the looks of that, and I kind of felt like he became an underdog on that 8.
Okay.
He's going to bank the 8 across. I think he really should put the 8 underneath the 9. This is going to offer a lot better of a kick shot, unless he's going for the cut. Okay, I like that safety better. And actually, if he hit it that well, I really like it.
The other teams to mention and all are looking good. Greece, Poland, So the Germans, there's a few of these teams now who...
What about USA?
I said USA
Oh,
first
okay,
time
all right,
around. Leave it out, JJ.
Finland, they looked good last night.
Finland looked okay, but kind of sort of looking at teams who really come with it, especially Poland. I thought their performance against Hong Kong China was very strong indeed.
Yeah, and what a matchup later this evening between America and Poland.
Yeah, that's the big match coming up later on this evening. So Vietnam thought they was going to come with something in this match, but early on,
Start the clock, please.
It's been very poor from the two players.
And that kick was missed by some mark.
Kuwait wins the rack.
Greece right in the action. Cue ball's close to the side.
Oh, a fortunate kiss and then a not so fortunate kiss on the one.
One, you dirty dog. Look at that, come on through.
Start the clock, please.
That's got to be a real momentum killer, especially for Kuwait just finally feeling like they're getting their rhythm back.
Yeah, anytime you put that cue ball near a pocket off the break, chances are something's going to come along.
Just karmically, it doesn't feel right.
Huge shot, I think, on the outcome of this match, though. Yeah, he's hit that tremendously thick. So now Kuwaiti gets to try and erase some of those mistakes and get back on the board.
Yeah, it's amazing how much we're seeing certain balls missed by and all. They're not even right in the pocket. I'm not saying this is easy, but look, it's 3 inches away from the pocket.
Oh, what a shot. Right in the heart of the pocket. Recorrects any error. That's got to feel pretty good for Kuwait.
Yeah, I don't know if I really try to get to the left side of the 5 here, Carl. You could kind of make an easier shot on the 3, just getting to the middle and cutting the 5. Maybe has to bump the 6 afterwards, but sure does simplify the 3.
Oh, what a ball. And comes down just underneath the 5, but I think that's going to do it. Bader just killing it tonight. This is great.
I think probably so, and I was surprised to see him go with inside, to be honest with you. I thought he'd come one rail between the 8 and 9 back down, but you know, those guys are at the table, Carl, and you know as well as I do, it doesn't take much to change the shot. Football's a game in inches. That being American football, that's what they always say. What do you think pool is? It's got to be just millimeters.
Yeah, this is a lot better now
Kuwait wins the rack.
than the boys from Kuwait. It really is.
Might come from that bracket. Of course, Austria going down last night. Big upset. Oh, he's missed the wing ball. Something we haven't seen too often. A few times, but now does he have the right angle to get around the 5 over to the side rail for the 2? I think it's okay.
First dry break has come from the way of Kuwait, and that was the one you've just seen. In all 9-ball racks, usually there's always a key shot to the rack where it might go wrong or it might go right, and this looks like it's going to be the shot for Vietnam. He's trying to get the cue ball on the side rail, and he has done. a phenomenal job there. He really has. Great shot.
Beautiful touch. After having to sit for 20 minutes and just watch Kuwait put 4 points on the board, that is an amazing shot right there from Vietnam.
Yeah, in the side pocket. Of course, if you move the 8, a cupcake here, but now you have to roll the ball, odd queuing over the 8, and nerves are high, and a huge game in this match.
Extension, please.
You know, if you try and draw the cue ball back and put it there where the 8 is, you could stay there all day. It always seems to happen.
Ooh, you called it. You called it. That is an unfortunate miss there, and it looks like Kuwait might just be able to drain these next 3 and get on the hill.
Well, at this level, they've got to go in, I'm afraid. It was a poor miss. It can be chalked down.
Yeah, and I tell you, just like right there, if you learn to trust the bed of the table, you can really get comfortable here on the slick felt, I think. Don't try to force the ball around. Understand it will roll out a piece.
From 3-1 down,
Kuwait wins the rack.
Kuwait have won the next 5 racks. They're on the hill in this one.
Now, Kuwait at the table to maybe finish this match.
That was a better pop from Omar. We've seen him swipe at a long one before, missed it by a long way. Oh, he's got too much into the cue ball.
Oh, I can't believe it.
And if you notice, he caught the 2 a little thick to the pocket, trying to hit before the side, and that's why he got a little more draw on the ball and lost the white in the middle. Is this makeable?
It's got to be thin.
Or double kiss, one of the 2.
Oh, he was okay, JJ. And a little bounce. Maybe not even a little bounce. That's good. That's really good. He can draw back. Maybe he can go centre table as well. We'll see.
Well, just no second guessing here. Whichever one is okay. You can really run out with the cue ball here on the bottom rail, over on the side rail.
Wow, if you're Team Kuwait, you thought you had it locked up, then you sat in your chairs until you had to do a jump bank shot. I don't know. It's going to be hard to collect themselves, even if they do get a chance at this ball, which it looks like they're not going to get back to the table.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Watch out, 8. Problems.
Well, this was all cause for me, where he left the cue ball just on the rail. A little bounce off the rail made it absolute guaranteed to get on that pink 4 ball. When it just landed on the rail, I just felt like it all gone a little bit weird. What a mistake this is.
Yeah, he was worried about getting over there off the 2 and just overhit it a bit. And really, the 8, I know, is a problem now, but it saved the cue ball overall. I think they were scratching if the 8 wasn't in the path there. So at least they do have a chance.
JJ, out of 10, this jump shot, how many times should the guys be making this?
Well, if you're good at it, 7 out of 10, probably. If you're a good jumper, if you're a top jumper, you get higher. But
oh, how did the ball stay up? I'm not saying it should have gone in, but it was close. The pace, it was a little like the bank on the 1. The pace has kept it out. Drama here. Let's have another look. Just fired it into the rail at pace, and it stayed up.
Well, the 4-inch pockets, and what we don't talk about enough are the deep slates, the deep shelves that go into the pocket. That really makes a huge difference. You get on a shallow slated table, a 4-inch pocket doesn't seem too tough for these guys, but the combination of the deep shelf and the 4 inches, and of course a little pressure doesn't hurt. But
yeah, all caused by the poor positional shot. They were still at the table with the jump cue. It's gone wrong to the delight of Team Kuwait and their fans watching back home. It's been a good match, this one. One good positional shot. This match should be over. Okay, where's the cue ball going to finish? It's going to be good.
Looks
It's going to be
good.
better than good.
Wow, all those mistakes erased in one 9-ball here.
Fantastic match, fantastic win. Team Kuwait are through to round 2. Solid performance, it really was. Vietnam, you played your part in a good match as well. But in the end, it was just a little mistake on the jump shot.